Hi, everyone. I'm Jeffrey McCullough. I'm chair of ASID New Jersey Student Week. Welcome to our final day of programming. It's been a very, very exciting and active week. And I'll just remind you that this morning's program is about working with vendors and navigating the trade environment, such an important topic. It's crucial that we understand what that environment looks like and how to be a part of it. And then we will have our keynote presentation after at 11:30, and that's Kia Weatherspoon, a very dynamic presenter from Washington, D.C. If you have not registered for the keynote and you want to attend, and please just put a message in the chat box to me, Jeffrey McCullough, and I will get you the link before this program ends. We want as many people that are at this program that can stay for the one afterwards to attend. That would be awesome, but you will need a separate link for it. I'm very excited to turn this program over to Melissa Gara with Sherwin-Williams. Melissa is a very active member of the chapter. I should say that Sherwin-Williams is a gold sponsor for ASID New Jersey, and we're very fortunate to have them not just as sponsors, but also as very active participants in our chapter goings on. And Melissa is one of the most active of the membership committee and plays many other roles as well for us. So today she will be your moderator, and I'm turning it over to Melissa.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. So our first speaker is going to be Virginia Liberato. And I'm actually going to share my screen. So let's make sure everybody can see this for her. All righty. Perfect. So Virginia has over 30 years of experience, primarily in high-end luxury retail and residential interior design. Collaboration and community has been a constant throughout her career. Currently, about 5 years, she has been the residential trade leader at Restoration Hardware, working with interior designers and architects to provide customized support for their project needs. Currently, she is our president-elect for ASID New Jersey. She's an active volunteer, has a passion for design, and she's constantly seeking inspiration. So Virginia, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. And thank you so much to everyone who is viewing and helped put this together. It's been an amazing week. So, of course, as she said, Melissa said, I am with RH, formerly known as Restoration Hardware. And you can go on to the next screen. So basically, when we talk about working with trade, I think the main thing that comes to mind for me is relationship. You want to really build a relationship with whoever it is that you're looking to open trade accounts with. You know, you want someone to have your best interests, support your business, and really be that one-to-one contact for you. Like for me, I feel like that is the major key role when you're setting up your trade accounts. So for us, it's our product and your vision. So we offer the product knowledge and design expertise to support your vision and leverage your business. So from ideation to installation, swatches to specification, our dedicated team is here to service and support your creative and project management needs. So like I said, your success is our success. So, oh, perfect. So our trade team, so what does our trade team do for you, which is so important when you are starting out or even, don't have a trade account with us and want to learn more about it. We have highly experienced trade consultants that provide personalized service to deliver seamless residential design projects. One key thing for that, it is just residential. For commercial and contract, we do have a whole other division that would deal with that aspect of the business. And basically, we kind of put it into 3 different areas of how we can support your business as an interior designer. So specifying, we help you to curate the right products. We provide support to help you select and specify the perfect products. If any of you have ever gone through our website or our source books, you'll see we have quite a lot of products. So you want someone to have a product for your project. And then collaborate. What does collaborate mean at RH? It's partnering with you to realize your vision. So we really are an extension of your team, and we're here to support your vision. A lot of clients will come in with their clients. Some will send their clients in. Some will do both. Some will stay in the showroom and continue on with their client meeting, utilizing our showroom as an extension of their office. And then coordinate. What does coordinate mean? So for that, it's just providing you the support to leverage your business. And we recognize the complexity of multiple projects, and we are here to support whatever it is that you need. We help find quick ship solutions, which in this day and age is a really big key. In stock items, whatever it is that you need, we basically will flex to whatever the needs of your business are. And then Melissa, I think we can go to the next screen. I talked about the large vast of products that we order. This is just a sampling of the covers of our source books. If any of the students or anyone on this call would like to get a source book, just email me and connect with me, and I'll definitely get you on the list. But it ranges from RH, our core brand, RH Modern. We have a beach house collection. We have a ski house collection. Of course, we have an outdoor collection, which is super, really popular right now. Although it's snowing outside here in New Jersey, now is the time to think about your outdoor projects as we're spending so much time in our homes. Of course, rugs, baby and child, and teen. Okay, Melissa, I think we can go. And then this is just my contact information, Liberato at rh.com, my phone number, 201-403-5371. I kind of went through this a little quickly, so if anyone has any questions or wants to learn more, of course, connect with me, but I have a great video that really showcases one of our new next generation galleries in the Meatpacking District in New York. And it just really showcases what RH is all about and what the experience is in blending residential and hospitality with restaurants and cafe bars. And it's just a wonderful experience. So I wanted to leave time to share that with you. Thanks, Melissa.
I'm coming through.
It took 7 years of improvising, adapting, and overcoming all the obstacles. It took 7 years of connecting the dots, meeting the people, creating the partnerships, until it became what it is today, which is arguably the most innovative new store in the world, in the most important city in the world. Not every retailer gets to open in New York City. It's a big market, but it's a difficult market. There's not a better place to express truly what you believe in. Meatpacking wasn't known as a good retail location at the time. It was mostly dominated by bars and a late night club scene. People told us their location's wrong, the store's too big, you're just gonna be another flagship store in New York that loses money.
Finding old buildings that you can reinvent, it's challenging and it's very rewarding.
To take this kind of simple yet distorted brick facade and trying to reimagine that.
Historically, the 9th Avenue L was the first elevated rail track built in New York City, and it had a low West 12th Street stop. And so if you were standing in Gansevoort Plaza, this building would have been largely blocked from view because of that elevated rail track.
That was inspiring for me. It had its own pattern. It's a language of sorts. Bolts, nuts, splice plates, welding patterns.
Our goal was to wrap the corner, almost in the same way that the elevated train wrapped that very same corner, creating a beautiful, almost artistic abstraction of the past and the present. We thought, how do you transition someone in this city that can seem sometimes cluttered and chaotic and bring them into a space of harmony and hospitality? When you walk through those doors, everything's calm.
It makes everyone pause when you experience it to consider new things. Think about the way we live. Think about the way we eat. Think about the way we want to interact socially.
With each idea unfolding and surprising you, like a beautiful barista bar and outdoor wine terrace. It's the first time we've embedded an entire interior design firm into the retail experience. A 6-story integrated art exhibit called New York Night by Alison Berger.
Conceptually, it's this idea of being caught in the rain in New York. It is undeniably beautiful if you can stop and see the city as a reflected pool of light. 120 hand-blown crystal forms that contain the light. New York Night.
And as you land on the rooftop, you step off into a glass box and a restaurant that seamlessly transitions from indoors to outdoors.
The social aspect is really big. People feel comfortable, can always find a space to socialize, but also to share it with other people.
It's all about blurring the lines between residential and retail and creating spaces that are more home than store. It's all about blurring the lines between indoors and outdoors and blurring the lines between home and hospitality.
We can eat, we can drink, the best in the world, right here, in this spot.
The combination of the architecture, the art, and the design creates an energy that I've never seen in retail. For a long time, RH New York is going to be seen as not only an unbelievable expression of our brand today, but will continue to be an unbelievable expression of our brand for years to come.
Thank you, Melissa. So it really makes you miss, right, going out. But if you ever are in the city on 12th Ave, 9th Ave, between 12th and 13th, it's an amazing experience. And it really, truly is so inspiring just to walk through. So thank you so much. And like I said, any questions, connect with me. And thanks for having me on this panel.
Thanks so much, Virginia. And again, like Virginia had said, the chat box is open. So if you have any questions for any of the panelists, just shoot them in that chat box and we're going to make sure that we have a couple minutes at the end to go over them. So next up, we have Reina Dominguez. I'm lucky enough that I get to partner with Reina and work with her, but Reina is our designer account executive for Sherwin-Williams. Reina has worked for Sherwin-Williams for over 4 years and supports designers and architects in the Metro New Jersey area. Reina offers specification support, color tool expertise, and ongoing product education. So Reina, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Good morning, Melissa. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jeffrey, Terry, and all of ASID for the opportunity to be here with you on a Saturday morning, especially to everyone hopping on the call. I know it means a lot of extra effort, so extra thankful to be here speaking with you today. My name is Reina Dominguez, and like Melissa said, we're kind of both partners in crime for Sherwin-Williams in this area of the state. I cover Metro New Jersey South, but I do want to emphasize we are national and we are global. And if you ever in your career, you come across, whether it's a friend that needs to connect with one of us, or whether you're expanding and working somewhere else in the country or another area, please reach out.
I see you cleaned up the Brussels sprouts last night.
Please reach out. We connect on a daily basis. We're all connected, so we can connect you with the right people or find you the answers that you're looking for. Now, I've broken up a couple of steps in order to be successful and build that relationship like Virginia was talking with us. The first thing you want to do is find out what designer tools, what resources are available to you, whether you're still in school or you're starting up after school. There's a lot of opportunity and a lot of resources that companies like Sherwin-Williams are willing and excited to give to you for no charge. I know that as a student, you're eligible to receive at least their fan deck and a couple of other things. But once you graduate, please connect and make sure you are all set up with all of the tools that are resource to you. Now, we also have digital tools. A lot of the times, especially after last year, the companies are adapting, they're changing, and there's so many opportunities to work digitally and connect that way. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. They're all out there. Programs like what we're doing today virtually are another great way to stay connected and continue to build that relationship and get you ready for once you're ready to go into the field. Now, continued education, Sherwin-Williams puts a big emphasis on making sure you're well prepared, you're staying up to date with all the latest trends. Every year we put together what we call color mix, and normally we would get together in person and have a networking event and such, but we're able to still bring you information and trends and tell you about our latest products via our regular webinars, or if it's a CEU, if you want to stay accredited. We do provide a lot of these webinars for free. Once we're back on the field and ready to meet in person, I'm sure we'll be able to have those events in person again. But if not, at least you have those available for you. And again, you don't have to be a designer. You don't have to be working already. You can start joining from right now and make sure that you're the most competitive. Now, project specification. We have a lot of products at Sherwin-Williams, and I want to remind, I don't even need to remember every little thing about all of them, right? Because we have so many resources. We connect with a lot of product people who are just working on that. So if you have like a really, really funky project that you have never dealt with, I'll be sure to make sure that we connect with the right people or get you the right product that you're looking for that's going to benefit your client the best. We also provide you with some nice finishes if you're starting out. If you've never created a professional spec, we're able to help you out with that. Just send us the information and guide you through the process. We also have all of our color swatches available for download. So if you're working with any one of these programs, you're able to download those off of there and set up yourself with them as well. Now, referrals. When you're starting up, or maybe you're changing to a different area, you're expanding, or your go-to painter is super busy, we also work very closely, not only with our stores, but with our painter reps. So we are able to give you the best referrals that we possibly can. We'll connect with the local rep that has seen the painter's work, that trusts the painter, and connect you guys that way. Now, if let's say a painter is looking to work with the designer, that's another win as well. We're able to connect you and the painter and start building on that relationship and expanding that way and just picking up some work through them. We also have some discount programs. If you are not purchasing the paint and your painter is purchasing that paint, we're able to kind of give them a little reward for just working with you and trying out a product that maybe you're specifying for the first time and they're a little nervous about trying. So yeah, that's another really, really cool advantage. You don't have to know everyone in the field in your area. We are your connection for those things. And now, speaking of connection, if I could give you one piece of advice to take away today is stay connected. Now more than ever, we realize how important it is to stay connected and how easy it is as well. With social media, events like today, it's so easy to stay connected. And please do not wait until you've graduated, until you're ready to start looking for work. Start connecting now, start building those relationships because you never know where that's going to take you. Melissa and myself, we're very active with ASID, right? So if we have an event coming up where we think might be good for you to speak on or for you to attend and benefit from, just staying connected. A lot of times I see a lot of people making the mistake of whenever I reach out just to say, hey, how are you? Just to build on that relationship. They think that they'll just call me when they need me. But the problem is you never know when you'll need someone if you don't really understand what they have to offer. So if you take 10 minutes just to read that email that talks about the latest products or the newest technology and things like that, you'll be able to kind of fill up your connection bank a little bit faster and understand when they'll need you and how they'll need you. So honestly, it's really my favorite part of the job, just staying connected with everyone. I'm not selling anything to anyone. I just want to get to know you, help you, be prepared, and just arm you with the right tools. We have so many tools that I can go on forever about. So as long as you're connected, whether it's on social media, a lot of the times Sherwin-Williams will post really, really cool things, whether it's trends or even shout outs to designers of the month. Staying connected with us will help you get there, will help you get posted and just get that visibility that you'll need. So that's definitely my biggest piece of advice. Thanks, Melissa.
Thanks so much, Reina. Reina, if you want to put your, I guess everybody too, if you guys want to put your contact information in the chat. I know we had gotten that last week, so definitely the students are looking to connect. So definitely put your best contact information in the chat. So next up, we have Dwayne Clark from Phillip Jeffries. Dwayne is the regional manager for Phillip Jeffries, New York. His previous experience as an interior designer, licensing agent, and PR professional for the interior design industry throughout the US for about 25 years. This has given him a unique perspective on the luxury home market. He's been with Phillip Jeffries for 2 years now and recently transitioned Phillip Jeffries to their very own worldwide flagship showroom, which is on the 11th floor of the D&D building. So Dwayne brings to Phillip Jeffries a vast array of knowledge and experience working with interior design and architects firms of all sizes. Dwayne currently coaches a team of 15 sales and support team members to promote and sell Phillip Jeffries wall covering to the worldwide audience. Dwayne's commitment to the industry spans years of hands-on management experience. So Dwayne, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Melissa, and thank you very, very, very much, Jeffrey. You're a longtime friend, and I am always proud to be in your company. Melissa, thank you for hosting today and moderating, and I am so proud to be amongst such a team.
Dwayne, I'm sorry, your sound's coming through a little like crackly.
Sorry about that. Thank you. It's
a little cutting in and out. I don't know if it's your mic possibly.
About that. Me today, I really appreciate the esteemed panel from Polyform to Restoration Hardware to Scalamandre and Sherwin-Williams. Thank you for including me in your esteemed and respected company. It's over 40 years ago with only 9 employees. Bishad and Susan Bishad here and Jess and Eric's mother were at the helm early on 40 years ago. And now we have grown within 40 years to have over 200 team members. This picture was taken obviously pre-COVID.
Dwayne, I'm so sorry to stop you, but unfortunately your sound is so bad that we can't hear you. And I'm not sure what sound system you're using, but it's just not working.
Okay, thank you.
Much better now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh no. Dwayne, unfortunately, we can't hear you at all.
You can go to the next.
We have no sound with you.
I'm gonna move on to Mary Rita, and then we'll circle back.
Okay, great. Thank you, Melissa.
No problem. All right. Alrighty, so while Dwayne starts working on that, we have Mary Rita Lewis. So Mary Rita earned her BFA in interior design from Keene and then worked as a residential designer for 18 years. She has since transitioned into being a sales representative for multiple brands, calling on designers and architects across New Jersey. After 10 years at Scala Madre, which was previously Stark Fabrics, her working knowledge in the New Jersey design community and the 17 brands under Scala Madre umbrella is super extensive. So Mary Rita, this is all yours.
Thank you. Just so you know, I don't have a PowerPoint. Zebras, that's the Scala Madre stuff. Go to the Royal Tenenbaums, all of that. So my job as a sales rep is to make your projects come together and run as smoothly as possible. So it's not just during concept and implementation, but beyond that. When I was designing, I always approached my projects, not just from a beauty and balance aspect, implementing the design principles, but because I don't do well with confrontation, I never wanted anything to come back and bite me in the butt. So I made sure that I was educated about quality and application. I wanted to make sure that the furniture pieces that I were placing would hold up to the use that they would endure, and the textiles were chosen properly for their intended use. So fast forward to my life as a rep, under what we now call normal times, I would usually visit the majority of my accounts a couple times a year with new collections. And in an hour, they would see the latest fabrics, trims, and wallpapers, which they could apply to current projects. They could file away for future inspiration or add to their design library. And this is when I love to romance the products, sharing what the creative director's process and inspiration, whether it was taking something from the archives or was inspired by their travels. So this feeds the enthusiasm, because after all, this industry is, it's driven by the end user's experience in the finished space, but it's also an opportunity for me to educate you as the designers. So knowing the durability or delicateness of a textile, the drapability, the proper use of a wallpaper, the weight of a trim versus the weight of the fabric it's applied to, all of this is important for you as a designer to be aware of, because your livelihood depends upon it. So I've always encouraged my designers to take advantage of my design background. I truly believe that my 18 years as a residential designer adds to my strength as a rep, because I know the process, I understand your needs, and having interacted with sales reps, watching their presentations, seeing how much support they were when I had issues or how quickly samples were received, that all shaped how I approach my job now. And as a designer, I shied away from the reps that either I didn't like or the customer service was difficult to deal with. And I gravitated first to the companies whose reps I liked and had relationships with. Relationships are key, and your vendors are indispensable to you. If you saw the panel last night, Danielle Palmadessa was asked how she balances family and business, and her answer was, it takes a village. And this just emphasizes the value of a strong relationship with your vendors. You need to trust them and knowing that they are good at their jobs. But it's a symbiotic affiliation. Everyone's time is valuable, and as much as we all may love what we do, very few of us do it just for fun. We have to do it to pay the bills. Again, last night they mentioned the whole industry, it's 10% design and 90% business. So to this end, you want to build relationships with vendors that you trust and are good at what they do, whether it's installing kitchens or making window treatments or selling you textiles, furniture, or paints, because this adds value to your business and makes things run better. We are a wealth of information in our fields, and we can make navigating challenges easier for you. And like any business relationship, loyalty and relationships are going to be rewarded. The other day, I got a call from a designer that the last time I saw this person was a number of years ago. I went in, they were extremely nasty and hadn't given my company any business for a number of years prior to that. This person called the other day and wanted a discount on a small order. And my manager said no. But for the designers that I work with on a daily basis, and I know that my product is getting into your presentations, it may not end up on the final project because the clients have the final say. But if you need help with, you know, that something from my line is going to that is going to be the epitome. It's just going to make that project, but it's a little over budget, come to me. Or if you're not sure about how something is going to hold up for, you know, is this too heavy for a drapery? Is this not going to work for this? You come to me. I can tell you how these things are going to work. And then, you know, because of that relationship, every once in a while there are issues, you know, shipment may be delayed or production may be delayed, or there might be slight damage. I want to go to bat for you. I want to bend over backwards and make things run smoother for your project. So I can also save you time. Any of us can as vendors. I tell all my accounts to let me know when they have a project. Let me know the room, the application, the color, the mood, and I'll scheme for your project. I'll send you samples that can work for it. I can make sure that they're heavy duty enough, they drape properly, they're fade resistant so the sofa can go in the window. Repping during COVID is very different. I'm not, in 3 or 4 designers a day, but we're a tactile industry and we're focused on color and light play. Presenting over Zoom doesn't always give us the spark that we experience when the product's right in front of us. And also, since this is an industry that relies heavily on relationships and we're all human, that contact is missing. I'm lucky that over the years, I've developed close relationships with my accounts and many have become personal friends. Scalamandre had just upgraded the website when COVID hit, which was very fortunate because you can go on there and you can make selections, you can check stock and price. So many of the designers do that, or many just reach out to me and ask me to put things together for them. I started a YouTube channel and did my usual presentations in an unusual format. My Instagram account has been a tremendous source, not only for my goods to be discovered by new young designers, but a platform for me to showcase my product. Our marketing department is fabulous at creating vignettes and lookbooks of our products when collections come out. And that really inspires and helps clients to visualize. So that's a great tool for you as well. I'm fascinated with the history of our many brands, deeply rooted. And I like to post about those on Instagram as well. Because our histories are so deeply rooted in Scalamandre, a lot of people think it's old school. This is my grandmother's. But the fact is we've got 17 brands that have a really broad aesthetic and price point. So if you need contemporary or modern or traditional or transitional, commercial or residential, we most likely have something that will fit your project. So in closing, build strong relationships with your vendors that you connect with, whose work you admire, or their products you admire, who are recommended to you by other professionals that you meet through these organizations that you're a part of. No one can be a master of all things, but if you surround yourself and your business with knowledgeable people, you'll be a success. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Rita. Okay, we're gonna move on to Kevin. Kevin Woodard is based out of New York City. He's in the industrial, I messed that one up. He's in New York City based industry professional with an interior design degree from GSU. From interior design, a stylist and pursuer of great design, Kevin has over 20 years of experience in the modern design and furniture world, including many years with B&B Italia as a brand ambassador for representation to currently the New York City general manager for Italian Lifestorm brand Poliform. So Kevin, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks very much, Melissa. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you to the whole panel. It's so great to be part of this and getting back into the ASID world. So this is a really great thing for the future of the industry. So thank you guys. So I think, am I pulling up the presentation, Melissa, or are you going to pull it up? I can't hear.
I'm sorry, you could share your screen and pull up the presentation.
Ah, okay. Sorry about that, 1 second. Do you guys see it?
Yes, you're good to go.
Okay, great. So basically what I wanted to do is since Poliform is an industrial design company and not the typical workroom that a lot of the designers are familiar with. I wanted to give like a little brief history or a brief reminder of the industrial design process. And, you know, with the students being fresh and familiar with, you know, the design practices of different parts of the industry, this may be a little bit repetitive for you, but this is just to give you a little insight on the ideas of when you're working with a industrial design company. So what is industrial design? Industrial design is a professional practice of creating and developing concepts and specifications that optimize the function and value of the appearance of products and systems. The role of an industrial designer is to create and execute design solutions for problems of all of form, usability, physical ergonomics, marketing, brand development, and even sales. So industrial design can very much overlap with engineering, while all final products most often being produced in a factory. The birth of a modern factory. Henry Ford is the founder of the modern factory where items could be produced in volume to set standards. The factory, a revolution design alone, is the laboratory where the ideas of industrial designers come to life with all the elements of design coming together. The same principles used for Henry Ford for producing quality cars are also to apply to high-end furniture brands such as Polyform. Going from single craftsmanship to industrial production, the successful bridge from crafted design to industrial design is through the industrial designer. From an engineering side, it is the person that embraces the machine that can respect the limitations as well. So there is a beauty in history and traditional furniture making and cannot be denied. It is the foundation of the industrial design process today. It is not to say one is always better than the other, but a choice of getting one aspect over another. Industrial design embraces the technology and is a process that allows the engineering of investment costs to be distributed over time. So like, what is industrial design brought us? You know, this is just like a little overview from everything to the Olivetti typewriter, to the Dyson, to the industrial design products and contemporary furniture that you see below. And, you know, of course, you know, the good old Apple. Some of the modern day industrial design masters, you know, everyone from Antonio Citterio, who's also a very, who's an international architect. He works, you know, for many industrial design furniture companies. Jean-Marie Mousseau, who is also a bit of a creative director for Polyform. Patricia Urquiola, you know, one of the masters of design and industrial design, partnering with also to many other brands and across the industry, and also to James Dyson, Marcel Wanders, and Vincent Van Duysen. So regards to Polyform, connecting this, like, you know, making the leap from a handcrafted, like, you know, furniture maker to a industrial producer. This was a 75-year process. So starting in 1942 was like, you know, the foundation of the Artisan brand. Still a very family-owned company today. So in 1970, it's when they actually had the generational change and became more industrialized in how they produce furniture. So this is like, you know, brings us to, I'm just gonna go skip to the next slide, so I don't want to like take up so much time here. So also to keeping in mind that, you know, our production and our facilities are all in Italy. So there's no, you know, industrial wastelands in how factories are ran and managed in the Italian countryside. So you can see here the beautiful landscape in the background with our headquarters there with solar panels and all being taken in consideration of the surroundings. Inside the factories, you have a very calculated way of producing. You know, this could be anything from car production to, you know, small technology factory. So you see the engineering and calculation of machinery is very much key. But you don't have a cold result. So that's what I want to always remind people. You know, the final result is very much, you know, a warm, inviting, crafted look, putting together the different elements. So the computer programming, production, laser, precision, consistent and innovative quality, like waterfall lacquering. I love this image because it really shows you how you can get continued quality from this industrialized process. The evolution from cabinetry to upholstery. So in 2006 was the debut of the Polyform furniture collection, which is very key in bringing the company to the lifestyle brand that it is today. So not many people realize that the brand actually only started out in cabinetry. When you walk into one of our showrooms today, we have 2 flagship showrooms in New York, one in the original location in the A&D building on 58th Street, and the newest location at 112 Madison Avenue. So here, these are, you will feel and understand the depth of the collection, but not realizing, most of it started from 2006. On the upholstery side, it's always very exciting to see when new products are developed, because everything starts in the digital format from, 3D shape. So the design of every piece and shape is studied in 3D modeling. Next, small scale pieces are created to try to get the shapes and the idea of everything. Then life-size models are used to cast molds. Steps from the frame to molds to injected film molding. So a lot of traditional ways of working are used, but the biggest thing is the cold injected foam molding. So we take casts and we have an internal skeletal frame that creates the bones of the furniture, and then you have the foam that is pumped in that bakes up like a cake around the product to create the meat of the upholstered item. Then the shape is set and the quality, is set as well. So then the pieces is trimmed. So this gives you the main base of the piece that finally then the cushioning is added. So I just wanted to also to talk about this little slide here where, the traditional foaming, there's no good or bad. So, there's just different aspects of both. So, to the traditional way, it allows you to do custom sizes for every single order. But with the industrialized process, we have modules that we work from. So that's the key to remember when your client is coming in and when they're wanting to do something 2 inches shorter or 2 inches deeper, that doesn't really always work with an industrialized company. Cutting, covers, and stitchings. So in this final aspect of the upholstery side, that's when the real traditional elements come in. You still can't take away, the hand sewn, the details from creating the final touch of the fabric. And then the end result is you have a company that has married the beautiful industrial process with craftsmanship quality. So, thank you guys.
Thanks so much, Kevin. I'm gonna see if Dwayne, are you able to jump back on and possibly share? All right.
Yes, he is.
Perfect.
While Dwayne's presentation is getting loaded, I want to remind the Virginia and Reina, Kevin, Mary, Rita, to go ahead and please put again in the chat box your the contact information that you want to have attendees to have. Make sure you put it on the everyone setting, not directly to me, and that way people can get in touch with you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm actually doing a sound check. Can you hear me?
We can hear you perfectly.
Sounds great,
sweet
yes.
Jesus. Okay, that was an example of the show must go on and the install must happen, because that was like seaming my own drape, reupholstering my own furniture, and doing whatever the hell I needed to, because at 5 o'clock, the client comes home.
Perfect.
Sweet Jesus. I am so happy to be here, and I'm so proud to represent Phillip Jeffries today. We started about 40 years ago with a man named Eric Bichard and his wife. And today we are at the helm of over, oh boy, sorry about this. Give me one sec. Today we are at the helm of over 200 employees, and obviously this was taken pre COVID-19. We started out in a factory in Paterson, New Jersey, and you can see under the Baldwin still signs is where Eric Bichard started to store he started with 10 grass cloths out of this warehouse, out of his garage, doing what we call now outside repping to designers and architects. His office was across the street where he would meet his two sons for strategy sessions and also meeting with vendors to increase their offerings. To now, they had their first meeting in a bathtub over 40 years ago. So yes, there is a Jeff, and yes, there is a Phillip, and it's now called Phillip Jeffries, named after Eric Bichard's two sons. Fast forward today, our company graces the pages of Elle Decor and all major magazines. We aspire to be the world's best. Our family, our tradition, our pride, and we call it Otaku, where we aspire to be the world's best wall covering company. We challenge our relationships. We strive to remain humble, to grow relationships, one client, one order at a time. And we understand that opportunity is all around us. From natural wall coverings to textured wall coverings to specialty wall coverings, we strive to inspire a more beautiful world, one wall at a time. There are many ways that designers can work with us. We invite you into our showroom. We invite you to visit with a rep. We have online presence so that you can get a username and a password. You can check stock. You can check pricing. Our company only sells to the trade. We're only open to designers and architects throughout the world. Currently, we have 5 showrooms throughout the United States. We're rapidly growing, and at the end of this year, we will have 5 additional states where we have presence, and it is operated by our very own Phillip Jeffries employees. To traditional, to modern, to minimal, to mid-century, to luxe, to grand, to gallery, to colorful, to peaceful. We give back. PJ Plants, PJ Cares, and PJ Artisans programs. PJ Plants, we plant 1 tree for every single order placed at Phillip Jeffries. So for us, it's about philanthropy. For us, it's about growing community. For us, it's aspiring to be the world's best. We inspire our relationships to be the world's best. We inspire our friendships. We aspire our connections. It doesn't just happen in showrooms. It doesn't just happen in design firms. It happens with the friends who are amongst us today on these screens. And oftentimes it's before or after hours. PJ Cares. Our company works with Jersey Cares, Elva's Village, Habitat for Humanity, Homeless Bus. And why I say this is because we inspire you, the designers, to join organizations like ASID. However, also participate in Design in a Dime, Bailey House, Ronald McDonald House, Kips Bay, which is the Oscars of design. Be better, do better. When you do that, you're shining a light on organizations, but you're also shining a light on you. We work with designers to provide our product amongst all of those philanthropy causes. So in as much as I'm showing you what we choose, we also are a part of so many with organizations that are scattered throughout the United States. The ones that I mentioned are here in New York City amongst our communities. We also participate with our artisans throughout the world that handcraft our product. Right here, we're seeing water hyacinths cropped to make our water hyacinth wall covering that you see here. The next slide is showing you our wood veneer that is palazzo, that are actual wood veneers that are hand placed, and this is a part of our bespoke wall covering. All the way to our Metalux gold leaf that is in silvers and golds, and it's hand applied to be over this wonderful Metalux product. At Phillip Jeffries, we pride ourselves on stocking over 1 million yards. We make it effortlessly for the designer to work with us, because once you become a client and we register your company, you have access to our inventory and our pricing 24/7. Your business is a 24/7 business, so therefore we cater and we provide that service to you as well. At Phillip Jeffries, we have 7 categories. We have naturals, seamless naturals, tailored walls, specialty, prints, digital murals, and our contract vinyl. The Phillip Jeffries New York showroom is celebrating our 1-year birthday, and we welcome you to come in and visit. We welcome you to grow relationships, and we hope that we can partner with you. I leave you with, what does this mean to you? We hope that you can be with us. We encourage you, we aspire you to be the world's best, to be our partner, to be our friend, and to make a difference in the design community. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Dwayne. All right, are there any questions? I'm just gonna check the chat really quick.
We'd love to have questions for our vendors today, whether they're live or in the chat box. So any questions that you have about, Virginia, I have a question for you. I'm curious. What are the options for designers in New Jersey in terms of RH? And is that amazing restoration project that you've been posting about for a while going to happen? You know the one I'm talking about. So tell us, bring us up to date on RH New Jersey.
I do. So we have 2 galleries in New Jersey. I am home based in Short Hills, and we do have a Red Bank gallery for our South clients. There is a new project in the works where our Short Hills gallery will be moving to the Morristown area in one of the historic locations there. You know, with COVID and with everything else in the historic aspect of it, it hasn't happened yet, but it will be in the near future. So when the world does open up and that happens, you can all join me at the restaurant there for coffee there, because it will be an amazing experience. But feel free to connect.
So that's going to be modeled on the New York, that's the New York model?
Well, so each next generation gallery really embraces the architecture of the building that it is going to be in.
Of course, I mean the business model. It's going to have a cafe, it's going to have a restaurant, it's going to have all that. Got it.
It's what we call our next gen galleries. So yes.
Melissa, that's awesome. We look forward to that. Melissa, do you see Sarah's question? I think maybe Mary Rita should handle that one.
Yeah, so Mary Rita, there's a question in the chat box. Has there ever been a negative interaction between the rep and the designer? And if so, can you elaborate on how you handled it?
Oh.
Judiciously and I am so sure.
Well, you know, especially in residential design, there's a lot of emotions in all of this. The designer has to deal with the emotions of the end user, which then translates, you know, the frustration, and it comes to the sales rep, and it's like, what can you do? And so, you know, I just try to stay calm. I try to find solutions that are fair to everybody. You know, sometimes designers get so wrapped up, they come to me and they're, you know, what they're asking for is really unfair and unreasonable, but I try to find a balance. I believe in balance in all things. I go to bat for my designers with my company. You know, I'll say, hey, listen, I get that this is, you know, whatever, but can we do this? So it's like any normal human interaction that's unpleasant. You just try to find a solution that works for everybody.
Great. Dwayne, a question for you. We know that Phillip Jeffries is proudly and wonderfully based in New Jersey. still the operations. Is there any showroom aspect for Phillip Jeffries in New Jersey?
Thank you for asking. Yes, we do have a remarkable facility that is a showroom that is showing you all of our samples right there in Fairfield, New Jersey. We also have presence in New York City. Our on the ground, boots on the ground is Sue Keenan, our New Jersey rep. I added her information in the chat. And also you can visit with an appointment during COVID to our facility in New Jersey. We frown upon it, especially through COVID, but if you order by 5 o'clock, you can pick up that order or you can UPS it the next day. But yes, we do have a showroom in Fairfield, New Jersey.
Oh, awesome. That's great. For Terry, you heard that. I hope that's awesome for designers to have that option.
Yep.
Great. Melissa, you want to take the next question and maybe make this one for Kevin?
Yeah. Okay. So Sophia had asked, what have you found to be the best way to make new connections during this pandemic? Are there other or more memorable methods besides just social media and emailing?
Well, given that the pandemic has left us with those two options, those are the main options right now. Like many have said before, prior to the pandemic, the social networking, the actual getting together and keeping connections with industry partners has been key, historically. Unfortunately, the Zoom calls and the Zoom get-togethers and the Zoom cocktail hours have probably been the only closest, replacement for that. And, I would just say, that sometimes just reaching out to potential, new connections, be it clients or vendors, maybe just make it about a social, let's get together and talk about the best movies done, showcasing design, the best movies that has great interiors. It doesn't have to always be, let's talk, hardcore business, those soft sale moments or those soft connection moments have been really good for me as well. So I there's some designers who in the city who are comfortable still meeting for a little socially distanced, coffee or drink in an open air space, of course. And, so we've, ones who I've been comfortable with in the past, we've done that. But, those are the main ways that, kind of staying connected and integrated into the industry. For me.
Awesome. Melissa, I see a fantastic question from Jocelyn Gutierrez to everyone, and maybe Reina could field it first and then Virginia after Reina.
Sure. So Reina, this one's gonna be for you first. Do different vendors work together to bring the end idea be realistic, like Sherwin-Williams with RH or Phillip Jeffries? How do we work together?
Yeah. How do the different vendors work together? How do you make those connections? How do you make those referrals? How do you sort of guide a new designer to creating a team that works for them?
Right. So, Sherwin-Williams works with a lot of different vendors, and we really understand that. I know Melissa used to be a sales rep for commercial industry, and then we were both inside the store. So you really get to understand. We have vendors that we work with, whether it's machines, whether it's roller covers. We own a lot of those companies as well, wallpaper, full finishes. So just approaching us with the question, hey, just throwing it out there, do you have any guidance where I can even find something like this? If we already have a relationship with the vendor, whether it's a local vendor, I know, Dwayne, you mentioned Sue. I actually reached out to her last week. I had a customer that was looking for samples of Phillip Jeffries because in our stores right now, you can't touch the samples. You can't take out the book, right? So, I was like, I have the perfect person here, connect and let me get this to you. She already knows me. The things went out 2 to 3 business days. And, we're just like a Rolodex of business cards. That's really what we are. And now because of COVID, there's been a lot of more partnerships of doing virtual events. Like when we came out with our color mix, I remember I worked with Dow Tile and we shot videos with our colors and their tile samples, and it was just like a really nice and beautiful collaboration that inspired you to think about the whole space, not just the pink color on the wall, really kind of start thinking about where I can see this whole idea and this feeling that the colors are inspiring. So we're, like I said, we're just Rolodex, and you just have to approach us about it, and I'm sure we'll find someone or we'll know someone.
Can I add to that? Because Reina, you
Absolutely.
great point. A lot of the vendors, we all interact and we do shows together. We'll host designer events and things like that. And like Reina said, we're all Rolodexes. So if I have a client who comes to me and asks for something in specific for a project and I don't have it, I put the 911 out to other vendors that I know, say, hey, this brand may have something. So I send out an email to my contacts and say, this designer is looking for something, can you send them? So it's actually a close-knit community, which makes it easier for you guys to build relationships because we have the relationships at our level, right, Reina?
And I'd like to add something to that too, because I'm Charlie Sachs, a membership director, but I represent lighting companies. And many of my companies, of the projects, they request the paint to match a Sherwin-Williams or Benjamin Moore color. And we'll do custom fixtures painted with those colors. Mostly for commercial projects, but we do work with the paint companies on that.
Yeah, and I'll just piggyback on that, Charles. I feel like in my bio, I did say community and collaboration, and it is really true in every aspect of what we all do, starting with ASID to these relationships. We do have paint decks in the gallery when clients come in to reference, and there's always some collaboration going on between us vendors. And I feel like we all support each other, and in supporting each other, we share what everyone has to offer.
A really awesome question that came through. How often do you think designers should reach out to their sales reps just in order to maintain that great relationship? Who wants to take that one first? Dwayne, go ahead.
I coach my team to do a round robin, and that's an email, a call, a touch point. It's about 9 to 5, but it's about the extracurricular. Pre-COVID, what can you do to put yourself in front of that designer at an event, at a charity event, at a dinner? We're always trying to think outside the box. And outside the box and after or before hours is when these connections happen. People are in the crossfires, and designers normally are either shopping or working with their clients during the day. It's a 27-day business. It's a 24-hour day business. They're shopping at night. They're being proactive, but it's also up to us. I'm looking so forward after this call to mentoring and establishing tighter relationships with all of you so that we can maybe host some of these private Zooms to create opportunity to be there and be more accessible. How can we be more accessible in the time of COVID when some in Connecticut, New Jersey won't step foot in New York City? So yes, we all have challenges. And how can we come together as a community to overcome? It's so valuable, and it's going to get us through the next 12 months.
All right, we have one more question, so we'll quickly go over that and then we'll try to wrap up. But there was a question of, has COVID made it harder to connect with designers since we now just connect through Zoom? So Kevin or Virginia, do you want to speak on that?
I can start. I mean, I feel like, quite honestly, COVID has really built more relationships. The relationships have become so much more personal through COVID, when we were all in our living rooms or our dining rooms, or you had your dogs or screaming kids in the background and still trying to work and still trying to get your projects done. So I feel like the relationships built during COVID have only made other relationships that much stronger. Although we're missing that one-on-one connection, we almost feel closer than we ever did before to our clients.
I completely agree with Virginia. It's that shared trauma connection, you know, it's brought us all together.
Yes.
And we literally have been in this all together. So, you know, everyone's kind of like shared their own little war stories of how they are managing. And, you know, it really has given us something to connect on. And, you know, a year, let's say hopefully a year, not like 2 or 3 years from now, we'll just say, well, you look back and say, oh, do you remember that time we had that crazy Zoom call about this one particular client? So, you know, these life events really do connect us, and it gives us something kind of this shared experience. So yes, that one-on-one connection has been missed, but there is something that's linked us that we'll never will forget for sure.
Agreed.
That was great.
Yep, I'll have you do last comment and then I'll throw it over to Terry.
Did you say me?
Yep, go ahead.
I would love to piggyback on what Kevin and Virginia said. I can't tell you how many tears were shed in some of my intimate team meetings. It is a safe place amongst all of our companies, right? We need to provide that environment. When you go through that, all of you went through a survival with me, changing from one computer to another computer early on. And I bet you felt, OMG, you felt like it was happening to you. When you go through that with a group of people, you're unified. You're unified. That's magical. And you take that with you as a firm, no matter as a designer where you decide to land. And even if it's your own, you celebrate that. But some of my most powerful relationships in this industry have been with another designer, because I often said in my presentation about the philanthropy, design on a dime, Kips Bay, Rugged, the person next to you becomes your best friend. Whereas some say it's competition. So when you go through that show house experience, when you go through quote unquote trauma of COVID-19, your network becomes a better network, becomes a larger network. And also COVID knows no boundaries. It could be in New York, but it could be in Jersey, Connecticut, Long Island, or San Francisco. So I encourage all of us to do more Zoom, to connect more. And I can't wait to grow relationships with all of you.
Thanks so much, Dwayne. And thank you, everybody. I'm going to turn it over to Terry to help close us out.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Just one more comment on that last, just Zoom. I feel like a phone call with a client is no longer sufficient. I want to Zoom them, like I want to see them in person. So I think it's really, it's made that so much more intimate. So I completely agree. So thank you, Reina. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Mary, Rita, Dwayne, Virginia, and Kevin. Thank you all for this great presentation. And I hope you join us at 11:30 for our next presentation and our last one of Student Week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, everyone.
Everyone, happy Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Saturday.